if you are to check what we have covered so far in terms of VBA, it's like we are doing one and the same thing. It's like you are doing mathematics whereby you know x plus x is equals to 2x. So if you master that, you'll know that even in an exam, you'll be able to do what you are required to do and score marks that are above 50%. So just stick to the basics. Make sure that you know how to declare variables, how to write a sub procedure, how to write a function, how to use the if statements, how to use the case select statements. All these matters. And also how to use input boxes and message boxes. That's all you need. So I don't think with the time that we have, so we are going to cover assignment number 2 for 2024. But if you are to check those who are doing revision, if you are to check on your folders, there is already assignment number 2, 2024. Those that I have started with, I think from the beginning until where we are now, you also see the assignment number 2, I think under learning unit 4, you also see it there. Then you can see how you can use the input boxes and the message boxes, which might be asked maybe in an exam to say, we want to accept the input from the user. Then you know that you are going to use the input box. Then if they say we want the output to be displayed in a box or in a message box, then you know how to use the message box. But otherwise, the rest, it remains the same thing. It's one and the same thing. All right. So this was your assignment number 2, and it's Sky High Airlines. So here is the company background. Sky High Airlines is a rapid growing domestic airline that provides affordable and reliable flights across South Africa and neighboring countries, with a focus on customer service and operational efficiency. The airline has gained a strong reputation in the market. Sky High Airlines offers flights from Johannesburg to 3 major destinations: Cape Town, Durban, and Windhoek. To accommodate different types of passengers, Sky High Airline has 2 pricing categories: adult ticket pricing, full fare for passengers 12 and above, then child ticket pricing, discounted fare for passengers under 12 years. Then the booking procedure: customers book their flights through the Sky High Airlines call center, where their bookings are handled by a call center agent. Once the booking details are confirmed, customers have 3 payment options: electronic funds transfers. Customers can make a direct bank transfer. Then on the credit card, payments can be made immediately using a credit card. Then cash payment on the day of flight. Customers can choose to pay in cash at the Sky High Airlines kiosk before boarding their flight. All right. So recently, the airline has undergone an external audit revealing potential discrepancies in ticket revenue records. Internal audits, however, have not confirmed these discrepancies, leading to a directive for a full recalculation of all ticket sales for the month of February 2025. So if you are to see or to check, you are going to see that it's like the one that was written on January, February, an exam that was written on January, February 2025. The concept is the same. Then, dear student, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Resi Pavuma, the Chief Financial Officer at Sky High Airlines. I am reaching out to you because we have encountered a serious issue that requires your expertise. As you know, we recently underwent an external audit, and the auditors raised concerns about discrepancies in a sample of our ticket sales revenue. Our internal audit team also conducted a review but found no discrepancies. This contradiction has left our leadership team concerned, and they've instructed us to conduct a full recalculation of ticket sales for February 2025 to verify accuracy. The external auditors suspect that some bookings may have been misclassified, leading to incorrect revenue calculations. To resolve this, we need you to develop a VBA solution in Excel that will identify and highlight rows where discrepancies exist, generate an additional column labeled correct revenue and another labeled price difference to indicate inconsistencies. Ensure that the recalculation run automatically at the click of a button. My colleague Bridget Jacobs, Chief Information Officer, also requested that you create a function procedure for calculating. So you see, now you are told what the function procedure is supposed to do. So the function procedure for calculating ticket revenue so that it can be reused across different departments. She mentioned that all pricing rules should be clearly coded as constants within the function. For your reference, please find attached Annexure A, which provides the ticket pricing details for the 3 destination and passenger categories. Lastly, if you come across any unusual patterns or findings in the data, please document them so that we can discuss them with the external auditors. Thank you for your assistance. I know this is an urgent request and I appreciate your expertise in resolving this issue. All right. Then the Annexure A, ticket pricing details. So we have got the destination, we have got the adult price, and the child price. Okay. Then requirements or required. You have to download, which is this one. Okay. And code required function procedure based on the instruction in the email from Reciba Fuma using Visual Basics. Make sure your coding complies with the coding best practice. So the first thing that we need to do is to what? To code a function procedure. All right. Here we go. Then developer, Visual Basics. Then insert module. But remember what I said, first thing first, save as, you change to whatever. Then save as macro enabled, then you save. Okay. Then now Visual Basics. Then we can change the module name. So what is it that we want to do? We are calculating ticket revenues. So remember, no one is going to penalize you on what's the name of your module is. So it's up to you to write the name of the module the way you want. Okay, so no one is going to penalize you for that. Even if you want to say ticket revenue, is still fine. Then from what we have covered, we said in order for you to write the function procedure, you start with what? The keyword function, then the name. What is it that we want to do? According to the statement here, she say for function procedure for calculating ticket revenue. So you can even say calculate ticket revenue. Then remember we said when you are writing a function, you need to put some arguments inside. Okay? You need to put some arguments inside if you are using the function. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what is my function going to do? Right? So we are told that this function procedure is supposed to calculate the ticket revenue. So how do I get the ticket? So obviously, how do I get the ticket price? Number one, I need the destination. So some people were asking, remember on our previous video, some people were asking, what would be my variable name? Remember, here on this annexure A, where is it? Here, it says destination, right? But if you are to check on here, these are destination Cape Town, it's called drive type. So you can either use drive type, you can either use destination, it's still fine. As long as you know where it's going to be or how you are going to use it, you are not going to be penalized for that. Then the other thing that I need is the number of what? The number of children, right? Num children and also num adults. So you can put as many as you want. It's still fine. Then the next thing that I need to do is to put my comments. Then student number. Then version, but version doesn't matter. Date 27 2025. So the reason why we are doing this is so that you get used to this. Then purpose. And from here, calculating ticket revenue. So calculating ticket revenue. Right. Now, declaring constant variables. We are told that we are supposed to use, okay. So if you are to check here, if you are to check here, it also says code the sub procedure required by the email from Resi Bavuma using Visual Basic for application. So make sure your coding complies with coding best practice. When testing your sub procedure, you must encounter an overflow error when processing ticket cells with high values. Do not correct the overflow error in this section. Submit your code with the overflow error present, as you will analyze and resolve it in question 1C. All right. So as you run your code, this is how it's supposed to come out. And I remember when I was teaching you guys on how to do this, I said, forget about the overflow error for now. Write the code that works. Okay. Write the code that works, because for you to know where the error is, you need also to know if your code is working. So you write the code that works, then afterwards you then change based on what you have found on the internet, what that overflow error number 6 meant. Okay, so for now, we are acting as if we don't have any error and we want to write our code as usual. All right, so declaring the variables, the constant variables, we have got on the annexure A, we have got the destination code Cape Town, which has got adult price and child price. Like what I always say, they also give you a clue on which variables are you supposed to use. Okay. So in this instance, since we are dealing with constants, okay, then it's now up to you how to write the variable name that you want. You can say price, okay, then city, then adult. It's up to you. Is equals to 1.8. One thing that I didn't also clarify, especially on the previous video, I remember there were moments whereby I would like write it as single like this. It doesn't matter. When you are using the constant variable, this one doesn't matter. You don't even need to include the data type, because the constant variable will automatically take the value that is already there. So if you put an integer here, the constant variable will take this as a constant, as a, sorry, will take this as what? As an integer. If it is a single with decimal places, the constant variable will take that one as a single data type. And now, how many are we supposed to write? 3 for adults, 3 for children or a child. So I have to copy this down. 5 times 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now I'll change here to child. All right. Then the next one is Debeni. So Debeni, I can use DB. Remember, you can even say Deben adults, still fine. No one is going to penalize you for this. Then the other one is what? Windhoek. Maybe WK or WH, depending with what you want. WH. Then here we call child. Then the price is 1350. 15. Is it 1550? It's 1125. 1125. 3.5. Then 2625. Then you are sorted. Now, the next question now is, so how then do I calculate my revenue or total revenue? So now, calculating total revenue or destination price. Are we together? Or the network has booted me out?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. So now I can use my select case. Select case. Then the data type, which is destination, the one. Remember what I also said. I said once you put these variables inside here, there is no need for you to declare them again here. So you just use them as they are, okay? Then remember indentation. Case. The first one is what? Is Cape Town. But you have to check on the working sheet how Cape Town is written. So it's capital letter C and then capital letter T. So Cape Town. So I remember some who then write it as Cape underscore town. It will not work. Why? Because if you are to check here, there is no Cape underscore town because Visual Basic is case sensitive. A capital letter C and a small letter c are considered to be different. Okay. Now, remember the first method that I told you, you can even just use this, the name of the function, automatically you can use that to store the value is equal to num adults multiply by, because this one is Cape Town, remember? So I go for the price for the adults. plus num children multiply by this variable. Then I go again for another case. You check again, how is Deben written? Then I can take this code and then the last one is called case else. Most people, they are confused because on the last one, they would want to write again Windhoek here. You don't need to write Windhoek here because that's, if it's not Cape Town or Durban, then automatically it's what? It's Windhoek. That's what it means. Same applies with an if statement. If it's not Cape Town or Durban, then obviously it's Windhoek. Then now we need to change the prices here. The variables, I mean. Then we come here, also change this variable. So if you mistype this one, all the value for Cape Town will be stored in what? In Windhoek. Why? Because if it's not Cape Town, if there is no Cape Town or a Durban, then it means obviously it's going to be what? This one. So all the values, all the prices here, if you mistyped here, they will be stored in here. All right. So this is the end of your function. Then now, I want to move on to what? To sub procedure. Sub verify calculations or a ticket calculation. Ticket. Now, my question here is, on the sub procedure, what is it that I'm required to do? Number one, I'm required to identify and highlight rows where discrepancies exist. Number two, I need to add additional columns labeled correct revenue and price difference. And I also need to ensure that the calculation run automatically at the click of a button. So I also need a button. All right. So now the question that I need to ask myself, what are the variables that I need also to use? Now I go for dim WS bookings as worksheet. All right. I can also put my comment here to say declaring variables. Okay. Number two, I want to loop over the rows. So obviously, I need the what? Dim last row as long, and also I need dim counter. The reason why I always change my variables is because I want you to get used to this, to know that the variables, you can use any variable that you want. You are not restricted to one. And since we are verifying here, we know also that we have got the revenue already. Okay? So we can call it either, what can we say? All right. Calculated revenue as single, then dim actual revenue. The actual revenue is the one that we are going to what? To calculate. Okay. Then remember I said you also need to declare these variables. So dim destination as string, because we are typing it as a string. Then dim num children as integer. Then dim num adults as integer. Then we also need price difference as single. All right. So if we have got variables that are missing, we'll add them as we go. Okay. Now, initializing the worksheet. So how do I initialize my worksheet? Use the word set, WS bookings is equal to, here you can use sheets as well, it's still fine. Or you can use worksheets, it's still fine again. Then bookings. Remember we said you are using the actual name of the sheet that you are working on. So if you have got 3 more working sheets that you need to use, you declare them like that, and also you set them. This one, since we are not using it, so there is no need for us to include it on our VBA. Then determining the last row in the bookings worksheet. So remember, last row is equals to WS. Remember, I said do not forget this. Do not forget this code. Dot cells, open brackets. Here I said it's optional. You can use the name of the worksheet like this, or you can start on the row, rows dot count, then one, you close, dot end, XL up, dot row. Here we go. So now we are also told that we are supposed to use to generate additional columns. So the additional columns must be in column K and L. So adding headers on column K and L. Last time we used the range, isn't it? So we can use this one now. So row number 1, K is what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L is column 12. Then dot value is equals to correct revenue. Then the next one is column L. So I copy this, I paste. Then I write price difference. Then I want to do the auto. This one is 13. Don't forget to change. Oh, this is 12 and this is 11. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Yeah, K is 11. Now we are doing the grade 1 stuff. All right, range. This time I want to use the combination of range and cells object. Remember, we did this before. Then comma. So are you seeing something that each time when you are referring to a cell in any of the worksheet, you start with the variable name, then you put dot. Okay. 12. Dot columns dot autofit. So now this one will automatically fit the columns for column K and column L. All right. Now we want to loop through the bookings. All right. So now let's use the for loop. For, remember we used counter there. Row is equal to 2 to last row. And remember I said after you have done that, immediately put next. Okay. Then you get inside now. And this one, we are saying assuming the first row contains the headings. All right. Now, num adults. So adults are in which column? I remember there was one of you guys who mistyped. This was correct. I remember this part was correct. But when the person wanted to populate the results man, he then used what? He then used the I will show you. He used this column instead of this column. So it then populated the amounts here and removed all this. So everything was then highlighted. So you need to be very, very careful, especially when you are referencing your variables to particular cells or columns. Then this one is row number 5 for adults. Okay, row number 5 for adults. So equals WS bookings dot. Remember what I said. When you are referring to a cell for that particular workbook or worksheet that you are working on, you start with the variable name of that worksheet. Then you put a what? A dot. Counter row. Then we said it's in column number 5. Dot value. Then we also need 4 more. 2, 3. All right. So here,
Ronald,
yes.
sorry to interrupt. I just want to find out something. Is row num and counter row the same?
Row what?
Row number, like row num.
Yeah, this is what I explained. I said you can name then whatever name that you want to give to a variable. Okay. We did also explain this on our previous session. We said this one, you can even name it bookings counter. You can name it row underscore num. You can name it num underscore row. It doesn't matter. But what you need to understand is, why are you putting this variable here? You are putting this variable because you are using it to count the number of rows. Okay. So this must govern you to say, if I am using row num here, it means even here, I'm also supposed to use the row num. I hope I have answered you. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Apologies, I was trying to unmute.
All right. So what I'm simply saying is, don't be confused with these variables. Remember, last time when we were working on that exam, we didn't have Cape Town children here, ne? But we had drive type, and we also had what? Sunrise. Yeah, it was sunrise price, sunset price, and night price, or a night price for adults, whatever that we put. So what determines the variables that you are using is actually you. You are the one who has to define the variables. You are the one who is declaring those variables. So if I had used num underscore row here, I was supposed to use num underscore row. But what you need to understand is the variable name that you have, or the variable that you have here, what is it that is going to do? What's the use? Why are you naming it, and how are you going to use it? That's what matters. Okay. Remember last time, price difference, I declared it as price difference without an underscore. But today, I've declared it as price. I can even declare it like this. Okay. But the question is, how am I going to use, what's the use of that variable? That's what you have to stick in your mind to say, okay, I've declared this variable as price diff, but how am I going to use that variable? What's the use of that variable? So don't be confused with this. Even here, last row, we can say last row bookings. It's still fine. But each time when I want to use it, I will use last row bookings. Here also two last row bookings. So don't be confused with this. Okay. So now children, what else? We also need destination. Here. We also need calculated revenue. Here. So the number of children, where are they? Where do we get them? In column number 6. So we come here and change to column number 6. Then the destination 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's in column number 10. So we change here to column number 10. Then, nope, it's column number 9. Then the calculated revenue is the one that is in column number 10. Okay. Then I said, after you have written this statement, before you do anything, you have to call the function. Okay. So now, this one, the actual revenue that was supposed to be on the worksheet, is the one that you equal to this. I said you take everything. It's equal to that. All right. Then now we want to calculate the price difference. So what is our variable? This is our variable name. Control. This is our variable name. Is equal to whichever way that you want is still fine. You can say actual revenue minus calculated revenue. Then that part is done. Then output. In column K and L. All right. Then what must be in column 11, which is K, must be this one, actual revenue. And the price difference is the one that's supposed to be in this. So 11 and 12. If you want to use the number format, remember dot number format is equals to, then take this one also. All right. So here we are done. Now we want to highlight. Everything is inside the what? The for loop. Highlight discrepancies. This code, we did it if price diff is not equal to 0, then WS bookings dot rows, then the one we are using is counter row dot interior dot color is equals to RGB 255 255 0. And if Then we are told to use what? To use a button. Then we said you go under developer insert. Then click the sub procedure. I remember there is a friend of mine who once said, when I try to link my button, it's not showing the sub procedure. Did you manage to link it if you are still here? The one was like, if I put my 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 button doesn't calculate. Then we said you can also insert the icons. Icon, you go on the insert, then illustration. Some might not even have this illustration, but you might have icons there. Then you choose what you want. Then you can change the color. This company is something like this. It's this color like this. Then while it is selected, you also click on the control, then you click on the button, then right click, group. So let's see if we did it well. Debug, okay. Should be, I think it's number format, not formats. So here we are. So it have highlighted. But remember, the question wants you to have this error, overflow error. Okay. So what is an overflow error? So you go on your Google, then you type, what is an overflow error in VBA? Okay. That's what you need to do. So the answer that you get, let me put a comment here. Right. Let me do this. All right. So it says an overflow error. It means exceeding data type limits. So each data type in VBA, e.g. byte, integer, long, single, double, has a specific range of values it can hold. Assigning a number outside of this range to a variable of that type will result in an overflow. For example, an integer variable can only hold values between negative 32,768 and 32,767. Attempting to assign 32,768 to an integer variable will cause an overflow error. Okay, so now you can tell that an overflow error is because I am using maybe a data type that doesn't hold the amount of values that it is designed for. So remember here we declared, and mostly if you are to check, you can see that there are amounts which are 35, 3.5, 3,500, probably times a number, then plus 2,625 times a number. So if we add the total number of that amount, or if we are to check here, right, let's check. An integer holds how many? 32,768. So if we are to check with 35,875 for Vindog, which exceeds the number of integer, the value of integers that need to be stored. Okay, so now I know that this is correct revenue. I can then come here under my variable called actual revenue, the one that I've created, and I can change it to what? To an integer type, like this. So I will copy my code and paste it somewhere. Then I'll start on a fresh page or a fresh worksheet. Then I will paste my code there. Then afterward, I will run the code. Then it will give me this what? Overflow error. So this is what you were supposed to do. So your code, when you were submitting your code, it was not supposed to have highlighted this. That's why I said you copy it somewhere, then you paste it there, then you close this one and you start afresh. Then you just copy the code that you have pasted maybe on the Word, then you paste it here. Then when you run it, it is supposed to give you this error. So now when you are answering number C, identify the specific line in your code where the overflow occur. All right. So now if I click on the debug, it shows me that the line where my code is having some issues is this one. Okay. But why is it there? It's because of the variable. Okay. It's because of this variable name. So either you can say the error is emanating from, or you look at the variable. Because remember this function is the one that is calculating the prices, right? So it's giving you the error here. You are saying the error is coming on this line, which is written actual revenue is cost to calculate ticket revenue, destination num, what, like that. Then why does the overflow error occur in the VBA? The error occurred because you have declared the actual revenue as an integer. And an integer holds values that are in between minus 32,768 and 32,767. But now, the reason why the error is there is because the values that are contained on this variable exceeds these values. And as a result, it now gives me the overflow error. And how can the code be modified to prevent the overflow error. Now, you are supposed to come and change here. You're saying you change the data type from integer to single. Then you copy this code and you paste it on the Word document, which is now the corrected revenue or the corrected code. So now if I stop and I run my code, then it must give me the actual results. So you see the reason why I said you were supposed to start with the correct one. Then you can then just change a little bit. Then it gives you the desired results. Any question or questions? Do you have any question? To say, I think I missed this part. So this one, you could have also used the what? The if statement, right? This part. This is your if statement. If destination is goes to Cape Town, then the other things remains the same. This is how you were supposed to do it. I think it's straightforward. Then you could also have done it in this way. The reason why I am showing you all this is because I want you to be familiar with the method that you say this one you are comfortable with. So you see, remember you declared adult price and then you are storing the adult, the price for the city adult in the adult variable, adult price variable. Same applies with this. Then on the calculations, you are no longer using these two. You are now using the adult price and the child price. It's still fine. And this one is the name of, all right. Here I'm supposed to change it to this name, the name of the function. This gives you the same results. Or you would want it to be like this. I think this is what we did on the previous video. But this one is supposed to be the name of the function. Like this. That's what we did on the previous session. So you can choose the method that you want, that you can say, no, I want this one. I think this one is better. Then you can work with that. Okay. Or since it's like this, you have to declare this variable dim as single Then you take this one, the name of the function. Then at the end, you say is equal to that one. Then everything remains the same. If I change the color here, then I put 0 here and 0, then 255. Then I get blue. So you can see that the code also is working. Any question? Any question? So I emphasize that you practice, okay? Practice makes perfect. Practice. If you are having any challenge, my inbox is free. You can ask me. You can ask me. But this is all you need. So like I said to you, know this and this and this and this and how to call a function. Then other calculations are determined by the scenario that you are given. Sometimes you might not need to subtract, maybe you need to multiply, or maybe you need to divide. So that one, it depends with how the scenario is given. But if you know this and also how to declare these variables, then the rest will fall in place. So 1, 2, how to declare the worksheet object, how to set them, how to determine the last row, then how to add additional columns, how to loop around the worksheet, how to call a function, then the other part is on how to populate the results in the intended columns. That's all you need. I don't think you'll have some challenges from now onwards. You need to insert your module, change the name of the module, give the name of the sub-procedure, and also the function. Any other question, guys? Before we call it a day. All right, so on Wednesday, we'll be doing the dashboards and other statistics. We can see which one we are supposed to cover, and we take it from there. But this is VBA in a nutshell. I believe now you have the light. You are no longer seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but you are now at the end of the tunnel. You are now seeing the light. So just polish up, then you tackle VBA with confidence. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll meet next time on Wednesday.